Welcome everybody to a new episode of Sprinkle Happiness. I am Nev, and today we're going to talk about art. We're going to talk about art and how we can use art to elevate our well-being and our happiness. And I have a special guest with me today, Teru. Thank you so much for joining me and to give value to our audience, how they can use art for journaling, how they can use it for mindfulness. And I will be your guinea pig today. And please tell me a bit about you.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi to everybody. Thank you so much for having me here and giving me an opportunity to discuss these two topics that are fundamentally, I think, aligned and intertwined, which is happiness and art, visual art, especially. That's what we're going to be talking, which is my specialty. Art, I think it's very much related to happiness, both from the artist point of view and also from the viewer. Okay.
Yes.
From the viewer, he or she who experience art from looking at it or
Yes.
living with it. Yeah.
I never considered myself good in drawing, good in painting, and I was not a big artist fan, I would say. I'm a complete beginner. So if I try, it looks more like a mess and not art. But I really want to hone into this because I want to try a new tool. I'm sure there are so many other beginners. How can we use art? How can we use simple things we have at home within minutes to kind of calm this down that is always working? There's so much chatter going on. What do you suggest we do, Terry? How can we even get started?
I think it's mindset. You have to get rid of this misconception that you have to be somewhat creative and you have to do certain things in a certain way, because that truly doesn't happen, not even to the most famous artists, if you will. Even when you read the biographies, you always find how frustrated they were with certain outcomes. So that being said, let's just forget about those great artists and focus on each of us. You have to find an outlet in which you feel comfortable. Since we're talking about visual arts, it doesn't have to be the exact reproduction of what you're seeing. That's when, a lot of people think, oh, I'm not good at it. I can't draw. I can prove that to you. It's like learning how to write. From there, that you become a bestseller author, there's a gap, but
I
you can
love
write.
that.
You can make a shopping list. You can make a note. You can make an invitation, pretty much anything that you're set up to do once you can read and write. Same thing with art. When you see something and you develop observation, then you can actually draw the chair that you're seeing, the phone maybe, anything near your environment. In art school, we have a lot of exercises in order to create that, to develop that actually. So that's one of the things that you can do.
So you formally studied art. Tell me a little bit how you came to, where did your curiosity start?
Well, I think, and I've heard this from other people that I've asked, no matter what their calling was. I once saw, actually, this was happening in Paris, and I saw so many posters that there were advertisement. And although at the time I didn't speak any French, it enticed me to look further. And so I thought to myself, I was 14 years old, and I thought to myself, this is what I want to do. I want to be the person that connects something that's going on with the people that see it and get attracted to that. So I think that was the first thing I did. In art school, you do study a lot of things. But if you are going to pursue that professionally at a given point, and not all of us have to pursue it professionally, we have to, I think, open up a space within our lives, within our hearts, that will feed our souls for art, for things that do give you pleasure, and at the end of the day, make you happy, which is why we're here, both of us, right? So, like I was saying, you get rid of the misconception that you have to be good at drawing, good at painting, knowing what color, how to mix. Those are skills that you will learn, you will develop also, right? But in order to find your I guess let's call it inner artist for now, in search for, I guess, a status of happiness, of perpetual happiness, a place that you can go to. You just start with whatever it is that you feel comfortable in your hands. If it is a like when you're gonna write a note, some people are very particular what they're gonna write a note with and on. Some other people's are less, they can. So that's basically what you do. Why not set aside a little bit of, maybe a little bit of your time during the week where you do something, or start leaving notes to yourself, because at first it's very hard to share what's coming out of your mind and hands, right? Maybe start leaving yourself little notes. You're developing a language within yourself and for yourself sooner than you think. Not only that's going to give you a lot of happiness, and it's going to open up that gate that you think it's been locked of creativity, and you'll start doing, maybe you will end up buying, I don't know, maybe let's say something difficult to draw, an ironing board, and then just telling stories with it.
So thanks for sharing, Terry. If all I had was 10 minutes and I am the guinea pig here, how can I begin? How can I unlock my creativity and let it flow? So I have a piece of paper here. I have a poster completely blank. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm just going to follow you. Where can I begin? And what do I do first? Like I have no idea. So what would a complete beginner needs to do first? Just walk
Okay,
me through.
you're a writer, right? Okay, why don't you draw a couple of letters? Let's see, like if I have something. I have something I can show you.
Yes, I'm ready.
How about, let me see, how about if you draw this letter A?
Okay.
Just draw it. Don't write the letter A. So you start observing how it goes up and down. One of the sides is a little thinner than the other. It lands on some base. Then it has a triangle and a little T
Yeah.
here. You see?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
I can do that.
Yeah, you can
That
do that.
I need to. If you need to hold it up for me. Okay, I need to keep looking at it. Everybody who's watching.
I know. That's the beauty.
Let's go
You
with
are
this. Whoever is
beginning.
listening, and watching, get a piece of paper, stop it right here, and let's do
Uh-huh.
this together. Let's just be the guinea pig together and learn from this. So I'm just gonna draw and see where it goes. I was exposed to very briefly during my studies in happiness, and I actually really loved it because I learned to express not in words but in art. I could read other people's art. I never
Oh,
really
that's
took
beautiful.
the time to look at an art and ask myself, what do they really mean by this? What do I see? And everybody is seeing something different, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I love tying this one down. I call this one as this is visual journaling. This is visually journaling.
And you have to observe, you have to see, you have to try to see maybe other shapes within the big shape that you're doing, because you have to start somewhere.
I love doodling sometimes,
Oh,
it just is it? It just is I find it very calming.
exercise number 2, put something on top of it and draw it again.
I put something on top of it, I do it again.
So you're not copying it. You're going to start doing it from memory. But this time, let's go a little larger. Just put something so you don't copy it. So nothing that you are seeing is going to influence what you are doing. This one is a little more difficult.
So I'm making it much bigger.
Yeah, much bigger, because we have to expand. You have so much area there that you have to fill it out.
So what I'm experiencing right now, or when I doodle, I'm experiencing that I am in the moment. I'm present. I'm
Right.
just focusing. It's just I'm already really, really calm.
You are so right by saying that you are in the moment.
And I actually need you here in my house here because I need more color in the house. It's like my house is like a hospital. Everything is very neutral. Everything has no color at all.
Speaking of hospitals, Nev, don't you think that hospitals are already places where feelings get so overwhelmed, both of happiness, relief, but sorrow, pain, nervousness, and everything? Wouldn't it be better if they had some, let's just call it bright art
Yeah.
that accompanies everybody?
Colorful rooms.
Ha!
Colorful rooms. Colorful maybe blankets. Colorful sheeting. Like
Yeah,
sheets, pillows.
yeah,
Yes, I totally get it.
yeah.
But that's something I hope it will find the right listener. For kids to have toys, I'm sure for kids, it's different. We try to cheer them up. Little adults are like big kids. So like they need a little bit of color too, right?
Yeah, we have this I don't know agenda, I think, that when people turn 18 or 21 in certain places, all of a sudden they're adults. So there's no difference between somebody who's 18 to somebody who's 38
Yeah.
or somebody who is 68. And hello,
Yes.
is a huge
We should
difference.
really not use our playfulness. All right. There it is.
Okay, much better. You see,
What now?
anything you want. Now you can do another exercise is the negative space. The negative space is you're going to be working on everything else that is not the letter A. So we have the letter A here. Let's go back to our, okay? But this time, let's just say we're going to leave the A white, blank, whatever paper it is. And you're going to do something now, even much bigger, maybe square, maybe a rectangle, horizontal rectangle, vertical rectangle, or no boundaries at all. But now you're going to do something with the background. And there you can do all the doodling that you like to do, whatever it is that you doodle, because we all doodle differently. More so than that, I've heard that the doodling is as unique as it is our signature and our
Mm.
handwriting. It's like I cannot copy your doodling. It can inspire me, mine can inspire you, but it's not ever going to be the same. So you could doodle everywhere around it. Now, how you want to do it? Do you want to outline the A or do you not want to outline the A and outline it through the doodling? And all of that exercise is already making you more to develop a more acute observation, which is what you need actually for everything, you know?
So I can just draw a heart around the A.
You could, but that would be just an outline of a heart. What you need to do is you need to do something that will be in the background, that will make the A stand out, but not through the feeling of the space in the letter A, but the background. So that's called negative space. If you were to make a picture of, let's just say, this space, you cut me out. I'm just an outline and you draw everything else. And I'm not here because when you do me, everybody's going to start seeing, I'm going to become the object,
Yes.
right? I'm going to be in the foreground. I'm going to be the most important thing in the picture. But if you just leave this area of me blank, then everything else becomes important.
So I just pretend the A doesn't exist.
And you couldn't draw on the A, but you're going to draw around it. You're going to doodle around it because we're only working right now with
Yeah.
one color.
Yes.
It is perceived as two because you have something that you're working on, right? The piece of paper that
I'm
could be white or any other color.
actually just enjoying doodling.
Isn't it just fun?
Like I would have never done. I did not actually wake up and plan on doodling today. I woke up thinking in my mind, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta do that. And then I pause and I get reminded, the professor Tal Ben-Shahar shares with us, do not rush through life. Enjoy life. So I really catch myself rushing through it. And I never is a good feeling at the end of the day. Where I look at my to-do list, yes, a lot of us checked. But did I really, really enjoy life or did I just rush through it? What if today is the last day? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. do it. So I actually pause more. Let's just pause and enjoy whatever you're doing, one thing at a time, and just be in the moment and not
Mhm.
rush. I don't like rushing anymore.
I think at the end of the day, we just don't, unless, of course, you're late for something. But the immediacy of the future that we live under right now, it does get the best of us sometimes because we are like living for this afternoon, for later, for the goals that we've made. And we're not present right now because the, the future is so immediate in our heads with all this planning that you forget to be in the present because the present was yesterday's future, you know?
Yes, I actually did a post about the arrival fallacy just a few days ago, which states that you think you're going to be happier once you arrive at your destination. But it's not like that. Once you're at your destination, you want to get to another destination. So people keep postponing their happiness to a future event that may never come. It just does not make sense to postpone anything because life is so precious every single day, not just the end, not just the destination. It's about the journey. The journey is where the joy is, the happiness is, like every day. Savor it, treasure it, journal, write about it. And I just started journaling not too long ago. I'm a huge fan of journaling. I love it so much that I actually wrote a book on journaling that it helped me see the little things I overlooked. At the end of the day, it makes me see the things that I normally don't pay attention to. What did I learn today? I usually don't ask myself that question. What did I learn today? And the next day you forget about the day before. So it
Mhm.
really helps you pause and just appreciate the day that just passed.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you were saying about thankfulness. That's another thing that really grounds you, you know, when you are thankful that even if you fell down and you scraped your knee, at least it wasn't both knees.
There are no mistakes. What does Tony Robbins say? There's no problems, there are no mistakes, or there are learning opportunities.
Exactly.
Roll and you learn.
This I've heard also by some other people saying that success teaches you nothing, whereas failure does. And so when I start anything, what I do is like, for example, when I started, I made this switch in my career and I decided that I was going to pursue fine art professionally. One of the things that we based, whether we like it or not, we based our success on is if we sell or not. Because for some reason, once you sell something, you go, oh my God. And it's not only the benefit, the obvious benefit of receiving money, but it is that somebody was so invested in what you did that they decided to own it, right? So when you don't, it kind of crushes you a little bit. And so what I decided was, I think I'm going to go for the no. Because everybody's like, be prepared for the yes and work for the yes. I've switched it and I go for the no. So I'll offer no. Again,
Mhm.
no. I'm gonna go for 10 no's.
Yes, I love that. I
10
love
yes.
that. I love that. I love that mindset.
In the meantime, somebody's gonna say yes.
Yes, it reminds me of the book, The Obstacle is the Way. If you haven't read it, you got to read it.
Oh,
We just built the muscle. Every single time we try again, we make it better. We try again. Okay, try me. I'm not going to give up. Like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? If you just give up at the first no, that you didn't want it bad. You got
yeah,
to change, make things better. And thanks to Tony, what I learned was that you gotta give massive value. You gotta be giving so much value that you become undeniable, that people will run after you. You don't run after them anymore. They run after you. But it's
yeah,
all about, not chasing it, but attracting it with what you offer. Yeah, I love the whole subject of happiness and how we can. And I always look for new tools to share with my audience. What tools? What can we experiment? We don't grow by just doing what we do every single day. You got to introduce something new, something else, experiment because you never know if you're not going to like it or not.
exactly. Exactly. You just don't know. And another thing with art is that at the end of the day, it's a connection. It's a spiritual connection. I believe that everything, like Plato said, existed. It already exists in a world above us, right? And what we do as artists, we connect somehow and we transmit and we make it so you can see it. I connect, you can see it. And I think that anybody can do the same thing, different in different areas, of course, but art is something that we start connecting very, a lot of people. It's not only the artist, it is all the people behind a piece of art and all the people in front of a piece of art. So that's the beauty of art and just making a little thing. Like I said, start with a couple of items in your shopping list and you will see how it grows in your appreciation and giving it value. Like you were mentioning what Tony Robbins says. And I think that another thing that I love about his teachings is massive action and doing something with intent, you know? And
Mhm.
so that's the thing. I think that you can doodle, you can do some art, and you can experience some art with the intention of being happy. And it'll make you happy because you have the intention.
You're not doing it for anybody else, but for yourself.
Mhm.
But
And at
I
the end,
also like
you'll
the
do it
idea.
for everybody else.
I love the idea also doing something for your loved ones. Maybe they would thank you later if you're really good at drawing. If you all love handmade stuff, I love handmade stuff where people take their time to write or to make. That takes time because that's the biggest gift you can give somebody is your time. And when you put time into creating something so beautiful like you do, Tara, it's so valuable.
Yeah, it is an act of love. I let them in here. I have these little paintings that I did. It's three of them. I mentioned to you that I have triplets. They're 18 years old,
Wow.
and this is the other one. They're basically kind of like the same thing, and I did them because I want to leave them something in there. That's how they connect. They go together, but they don't have to be together. I
Yeah.
did that because I want to leave something that will, I guess, remind them all the time who's behind them, who's their biggest fan, who's supporting them
Yeah. Oh
in
my
their
gosh.
endeavors.
Unconditional. Mother's
Yeah.
love, unconditional. So here's what I did. I doodled around the A. And, it made me like be in the flow. It
Uh-huh.
made me be in the present moment. Would I frame it? I would not frame it. But it's about the feeling that you get just
But
by
you can,
being engaged in it, just by calming down and just flowing and journaling visually. This is like visually journaling.
yeah, yeah. It'll get your creative juices flowing.
Yes. I also love these adult coloring books where you can just doodle around in shapes. That makes it so easy
It
for
does
you to
ground
just
you. I think it
yeah,
does
that's I
ground you.
find it very calming too.
Yeah, it is. Especially, also, I think it helps you get rid of this false idea that you are not creative enough, you don't have the knack, you don't have the ability. Like at the end of the day, when you see certain paintings, especially from modern artists that it's mid 20th century, where you basically, they break off representational art. Do you really know how well they drew or how well they could color a coloring book? Maybe they probably could, but they chose to do something else because they were connected with something else. And it doesn't really matter. If it is just a blank piece of paper that you decide to doodle or to put some color, it is what is within you. Eventually, it will make more sense and more sense. And at the end of the day, it'll give you happiness. It will make you happiness. That I can,
I love it.
I guarantee.
It's a form of self-expression. You putting out your emotion and it's just gonna feel great and you're gonna be in the present moment and you're gonna feel calmer and more peaceful. And that is a gift. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. And I'd love to talk to you again.
Me too.
Yes, let's do this
Yeah.
again. And I share with you what all I created next time. Thank you so much for joining us and tune in next week with a new subject, how to sprinkle happiness into your life and into your loved ones. And